What's happening? What's happening, people? Welcome back to another episode, the next episode, Trash Talking with the Old Heads. Tuesday, December 24th, 2024 is almost out of here. It's Christmas Eve. Merry early Christmas, fellas. What's happening? Greg, what's up, bro?
Merry Christmas, Nickel. Greg C. Nickel.
What's happening, bro? Jerry, with that damn green ass shit on, what's happening, bro?
What you mean the baby can't have no Christmas? It's Christmas time.
Over there looking like the Grinch.
Okay, straight black Grinch.
Whatever
You
you
see
want
what
to
I
call
got
it.
on? I got on my Christmas sweater. I got on my Christmas sweater. Ugly Christmas sweater day.
Hey,
Well, I play
see.
like a champion. You can be a champion. Y'all see it.
You supposed to wait till I say my tagline first. That's how we
I
always
took
do
it.
it.
I took it. I took it.
He took your shit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna even say it now because the
Give me
Grinch
your-
over there stole Christmas.
Give me
Already.
your-
He already
give me your
stealing
lunch
shit. He's
Give me your
stealing
lunch
Next
money.
year, next year when they say ugly Christmas sweater, I'm gonna come over to Jerry house and borrow that ugly ass shirt,
that
that
Celtic
ass
shit.
shit he got on.
That bullshit ass Celtic shit that no black man should wear. I'm gonna continue to say it. No black man was ever a Celtics fan. Ever.
Yeah, except for Bill Russell,
He
Sam
wasn't a fan.
Jones.
He didn't. I don't even think Mr. Russell liked Boston. I don't even
He
think he
did.
liked the city of Boston.
They tried to run him out the city.
Right. They shit in the
Cornbread
man's house
Maxwell.
from what I read.
They tried to run him out the city, man.
Except for them.
I heard that, Greg, I
Paul
heard that
Pierce.
defecated in the man's living room.
All
Paul
that threw
Pierce.
bricks in his windows and all that.
Right.
Antoine Walker, Tony
Right.
Allen. You know
That history as a backdrop, Mr. Pro Black Man. How are you a Celtics fan?
KG, 5 on it. KG.
Hey, listen, we said in the 80s, sir. You know the context of what we're talking about. Of course,
Jason Tatum,
Right.
the whole
I'm
NBA
like
Jalen
black.
Brown, champion.
Right in the 80s when it was Magic and Bird. All the brothers went to Magic. Except you.
18,
Obviously.
18 of them things. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but
He
before you
wasn't,
keep going, man.
he wasn't a Celtics fan back then, man. This is
We're
new.
not. You were
Yeah,
not.
this is
07,
new age
08,
phenomenon.
and last year, I'm there, in there.
No, I'm talking about in the
You
80s. In the 80s, were you a Celtics fan?
No, he was not.
I'm in there now like swim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's my answer then. Okay. I about to say no self-respecting black man in the 80s was a Celtics. I don't give a damn what you say. None of them.
I can get y'all the shoulder, get y'all the shimmy like Antoine Walker.
Okay, so you're a newfound Celtics fan. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm better with it now. I'm better with it.
Newfangled.
Right. I feel it better about it then. I thought you was a Celtics fan in the 80s.
He wasn't even a Celtics fan when Antoine Walker was shimmying and losing.
Oh, damn.
He didn't get there until KG signed and they teamed up. Him and Paul Pierce the summer before said we need to play together.
You're a bandwagon Celtics fan.
And they managed to get Ray
Not
out.
even close. Not even close.
And then
Oh, damn.
And what cemented it was the rivalry with the Heat. That's what really locked him in.
So you ain't no better than some of these Bron fans following Bron around.
He not.
Oh, hell, Jerry.
He not.
I just lost all respect for your NBA fandom. Oh, damn.
Inconsistency, sir, is him.
Oh, damn. I just lost all respect for your Celtics fandom.
I had to lay down for the world to see, man. This man
see it.
I actually had more respect for it if you had been a Celtics fan since the 80s.
You don't have no respect for this dude's basketball integrity, man.
Damn, Harry. One day you're going to have to let us know who you was riding with in the 80s for real. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to.
Come on.
The Lake Show. He was riding with the Lake Show, and I didn't even know him.
Man, if you don't stop with that bullshit.
He was riding with the Lake Show.
Damn, but before we move on, man, let me say, please do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button. YouTube, Facebook. You can join the Facebook group. We also on Spotify, but definitely make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Soldier Boy's back there in the back. You might not be able to see him today, but he's still holding it down in here today too.
Hold it down. Catch that man 6. One of these shows, we're gonna have to go over the origin story of our fandom. That's gonna
Yeah,
make for a good
definitely,
show in the NBA. Once the football season, we going over there. That's a good topic right there.
definitely. Cause now man, like I say, I got a whole new view about Jerry's fandom now. Man, you a fair weather LeBroniac for real. Like, damn. You following the Celtics, man. Come on, you following
Never that.
bro.
Never that.
Oh man, I thought you was an 80s Celtics fan. You a newcomer Celtics fan.
He's a
Oh
LeBron hater, point blank, period. That's it.
man, before we got basketball coming up later, I don't know, man, but you know where we got to start. College football playoffs. And not quite an impressive first round to me. But G, what's your biggest takeaway from the weekend? We're not going to talk specific matchups a lot today because everybody saw it. None of it was really compelling. I watched bits of most of it. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't very compelling. But what were your thoughts, bro?
First, let me say this: I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
Oh,
Okay, so
God.
that was my first takeaway. Secondly, Indiana and SMU proved they didn't belong. They didn't belong. They beat absolutely nobody all year, and we've talked about it in the past, right? That you can if you lose 3 games, you put yourself in that position. So I'm not gonna complain from that aspect. I'm gonna take it from the aspect of looking at truly the best teams in the conference, and hopefully we can have some type of change in how we view these teams and rank these teams, especially if you don't beat anybody all year. You don't play anybody all year. Their strength of schedule before the conference CFP and before their conference championships, 77 for SMU and 51 for Indiana.
Or was
That
it after?
just tell me, what was that?
Was it after? Because you can't not count those games.
Well, you can't not count them, but afterwards it was 32 for Indiana and 35 for SMU. So, and again, you know what I'm saying? They beat nobody. Who did they beat? Who did you beat? That's where college basketball gets it right because they look at who you beat, who did you win against to put you in. Now, again, that's a lot of more teams. NFL, I mean, college football and basketball is totally different. I get that, but you don't beat nobody. You beat nobody, and then you get absolutely dismantled when you do play a team that is that has some level of talent, has some level of competitive fire and integrity, and can actually have played people and have beaten people. The SMU lost to BYU. That was their best game. That was the only game they had with a ranked opponent. That prior to the conference championship game, they lost it. Got beat down. Well, didn't get beat down by Clemson, but really Clemson led them back in the game. Then you saw what happened in the first round. Indiana, the same thing. Played in a tough conference, but it didn't. They didn't play the tough teams. They played all of the bottom tier teams,
Right.
all of them.
Right.
That was my takeaway.
So, the question before I get to you, Jerry, let me give a follow up to G right quick. We're gonna keep it quick, but so let's say with the scheduling with the conference schedules kind of is what it is. It kind of rotates, especially now in these big conferences. So, what can a team like them do when your schedule is made years in advance? How are you gonna know who's gonna be good and who's gonna be
I
terrible?
mean, you can't, but that's for the committee to kind of rank the teams accordingly. Like you have to actually play and beat somebody. Now, again, it worked out in their
Team like
favor.
Indiana, then you
I
can't
don't
get
I
there. Then
don't think they got it. I don't think they got it wrong this year as far as putting the teams
okay,
in.
okay.
But you know what I'm saying? Like Indiana, SMU shouldn't have been ranked all the way up as far as 4 and 5 because they didn't like you have to take into account. Dang, they ain't really played nobody. I know they're 11-1 or they 8-1 or 9-1, but who have they beaten? Who have they played? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're telling me had they not lost to Ohio State, that would have changed a lot of perceptions. They should have probably even been, 1 or 2, but they didn't. They didn't beat Ohio State. They didn't play anybody worthy of note. And so, you have to kind of look at it and judge it based at the, what I'm saying, where you think they should be ranked
Okay.
according to who their strength of schedule and their strength of record.
Jerry, agree, disagree?
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything G said. And our last couple of shows, we talked about the things that could help the rankings, help us get the right teams in. But my biggest takeaway is just be honest. 12 teams is too many. It's too many, and unfortunately, they're probably gonna go to 16.
You're gonna hate 16 there.
Yeah. Well, everybody's
gonna get to that.
Yes,
everybody's gonna hate 16. I think they're gonna go to they probably go to 14 and then 16.
Yeah, it's coming.
But it's coming. They're gonna add more teams. And unfortunately for the fans, if teams like Indiana, Boise, SMU, if teams like that
continue to get in, continue to get in.
Well, no, not continue to get in, but if they continue to, continue to get in, but get in on their week schedules because they're playing the teams in their conference, then you're gonna have your first round just be. If you go up to that many teams, the whole first round will be garbage, in my opinion. So that was my thing. Like just seeing those beat downs, teams not able to compete. It's the same thing we were seeing when we had it at 4, and you had these other schools getting in and making it to the championship and then get beat down, by Alabama or whoever, by Georgia, whatever. It's the same thing. So the committee or the NCAA, whatever, you gotta fix it and stop being all about the dollars and get us the right competition if you're gonna have a real tournament to determine. If you really, really want to determine who is the best team, then you just gotta have the best teams in. We can't be placating to these teams that cry, well, my record was this and my record was that. And then you just saw, your record was fire, but you can't compete. You can't compete with the teams that you're refusing to play during the season. So if they're not going to put these elite teams on their schedule going forward, then they don't deserve to be in the tournament. But my biggest takeaway, 12 is too many. It looks like to me.
The only way they can fix that is when they have the CFP rankings that they, show that they are factoring in the strength of schedule. And so just like how teams used to adjust to that when, back in the 90s, if you go back to the 90s in the tournament, the big dance, they would always say strength of schedule always matters. So if you can recall, if you was 21-10 and you played back in the day, it was the SEC that conference schedule wasn't that tough. You had Arkansas and Duke. Arkansas and Kentucky and maybe one other team, but the rest of the league was trash. And you had teams that were, middle of the road squads that, unless they had a 5-conference record, they wasn't getting in. Because they played nobody.
And it's crazy that you come with the 12-team tournament and you disregard that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was fine back in the day to go with the strength of schedule, but now you put it to the wayside. That's hustling backwards.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of the way things fell this year, though. It just failed perfectly for those two teams. You know what I'm saying? Bama with the bad losses. South Carolina came on too late. They lost one too many. Ole Miss lost the wrong game. Miami lost to Syracuse. You know what I'm saying? It just fell right for them this year. You know what I'm saying? I think the committee knew it, but looking at Indiana's record and then looking at the 3 losses and some of them being bad losses, I think they just couldn't find a way to do it.
Put them in. I kind of agree with that sentiment. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, just the ranking process throughout the year, like they had Indiana's up as far as when they like in the top 5 at one point.
Yeah, and you remember when we talked about it, that was my biggest issue. Why are they up there now? You know what I'm saying? When they hadn't played anybody. Like if you set yourself up by putting them in SMU so high. You set
And
yourself.
they hadn't played nobody.
They hadn't played anybody. So you set the precedent early on that these wins mean something to us. So if you're going to do that, but I think they'll, like I said, I'm not too worried about it. I think they'll adjust. I think they're going to get a lot of pressure from the Big Ten and the SEC. But the Big Ten is in a tricky situation because they kind of got to fight towards the other. You know what I'm saying? They like that Indiana got in. So it's a tricky situation for them because they're really top heavy when you look at Michigan and Ohio State. Yeah, Penn State, we know they can be a little sometimey, but I'm not sure they want it that way for real. You know what I'm saying? We'll see though, man. We'll see. I think they're gonna end up with 16 teams, guaranteed spots for the SEC and Big Ten, which I'm gonna hate completely.
That'll be that. They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do.
They should not do it, bro. I'm already here and talk about it. They should not do that, bro.
Yeah, they shouldn't do that. That'll be horrible.
Horrible, Chief.
That'll be the trend.
That's anti-competitive.
It'll be the trend of the way college football is going now. Like it's been some good changes, but some missteps in how they implement these changes. Like so it'll be par for the course.
Yeah, I just say, like I said, like we talked about earlier, man, last week, take it as a learning experience. Get rid of the buys for the conference, all the conference champions.
Got to get rid of the buys.
No way Arizona State and Boise should have been sitting last week. Now, just think about it. Those games probably would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Had those two teams been playing Indiana and SMU, those games on TV would have looked much better. Yeah. They might have got smashed this week, but last week, your games would have been much better. Yep. So I definitely think that's one of the changes they're going to make. They have to make that change.
Yeah, got to. Immediately.
Even if you don't change anything else this year coming up, that has to change.
And then they need to seed. And then they need to reseed.
Yeah. But you might not need to do that if you don't give the bye to the teams that don't deserve them. You may not have to reseed. You know what I'm saying? Like if they did that right this year, then Oregon wouldn't be playing Ohio State in their first game. That's terrible, dog. It's going to be good television. I'm going to watch it, but that they shouldn't be playing this early in the process. So they got that part all wrong, bro.
True indeed. We shall see. True indeed.
We shall see. Now let's move on to this NFL weekend that started on last Saturday. Lamar gets it done. Greg Sears, he beats the Steelers. Now he's 2-4 against the Steelers. So I know you wanted to ask this question.
What I want to ask it?
Yeah, that's the question. That's the question. I'm saying that's the question you wanted asked is what does it mean for Lamar that he beat the Steelers? You seem pretty impressed with it. So what does it mean?
Man, it means nothing for Lamar. That's what y'all don't understand. It means absolutely nothing for him. What I was trying to get y'all to understand is that whether he won or lost, it means nothing. He was going to make the playoffs. Lamar's career has already been defined. He's a 2-time MVP. He has to win the Super Bowl. He will be judged only on playoff wins and how he plays in the playoffs. Even if he plays well and they lose, he's still going to get some criticism because of how he's played in the past. Yep. So winning or losing against the Steelers only meant that he was able to finally beat the Steelers. I think this was his second win over the Steelers in his career.
Yeah.
So it meant nothing. The Steelers have, they really have a good game plan as long as, against the Ravens. Just like how teams have taken away, and this we'll talk about this later, Patrick Mahomes, the deep ball threat. They play a different type of defense against Lamar, to kind of corral them. They don't have a lot of or they, historically have not had a lot of great wide receiver weapons. Now is up for the Ravens to utilize what they are really, really good at, which is running the ball and using your tight end, and every now and then hitting Zay Flowers deep, and letting him use his speed and elusiveness to get away. As long as Monken understands that Derrick Henry needs 20-some rushing yards against good defenses, 20, not rushing yards, but 20-some carries per game in the playoffs, they're going to be fine.
Jerry? It mean
man, I really don't understand why you keep saying it doesn't mean nothing. and you skipping over the regular season, going straight to the playoffs for this man's. I get if you're talking legacy, yeah, but if you're talking in the season, it's very important. He needed to beat this team. I mean, that's an awful record against the Steelers. We've said it before they played the first game against the Steelers that it looks like Tomlin has this kid's number with that 1-4 record. So yeah, he definitely needed to get a win against the Steelers, not only for his confidence, but as a part of his leadership, showing his team that he can go up against this tough team in the division and get a dub. Possibly seeing them down the road, all of that factors into it. The other thing is you need to get as many dubs as possible because you want to be playing at the crib. You want the home field advantage. You want to buy. All of that stuff is still up for grabs, right? So, he definitely needed to get this win against this team. Just like basketball, they say you need to, if you're missing shots, you just need to see one go in, whether it's from the free throw line or a bunny. So that's the way I felt about this game with Lamar, and he got it done. I'm not going to talk about the lack of, I guess, receiving power that the Steelers went into the game with. Lamar actually got it done. Now, Derrick Henry led the way, but that's been their key to success in winning these games. So, yeah, he definitely needed to get a win against this team. For the life of me, I can't understand why G doesn't see that, but yeah, he got it done this time.
Yeah, he did. I mean, for me, does it mean anything for him? I'm totally with G on his point with that. In the overall scheme of things, not much. Only takeaway I had from it was that's the formula. What I saw them do, that's their formula to win a Super Bowl. If he's actually going to win the Super Bowl, I think that's the formula. Derrick Henry with 20-plus carries, which I saw a crazy stat in his career. I think now he's 37-8 when he gets
something like an 82% win.
Yeah, it's crazy, dog. I think
when he has 20-something,
31-8 with the Titans, 6-0 with the Ravens. So the formula is clear for Lamar to try to get a Super Bowl. Get the ball to damn Derrick Henry. And I don't think, like I said, in the end, when people look at it down the road, nobody gonna give a damn. Right now, they'll talk about it if he were to, but if he win the Super Bowl, he a 2-time MVP with a Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl champion.
The Super Bowl championship. Nobody will give a damn going forward how he got it. It just is the way it is.
And it's Rich to hear Jerry say he don't understand how it doesn't mean nothing because you're the main guy that's been, talking about his lack of playoff success. And when it comes to beating great teams, what does he do as far as passing? So this win doesn't change that. This win will not change that at all.
Let me ask you this.
No, let me finish. If he plays great the rest of the season, they get to the playoffs. He may have one good playoff game, but the game that they lose in the playoffs and he plays not as good, I ain't gonna say terrible. Let's just say he miss a couple throws, he have an interception, and they end up losing the game by a close margin. The blame will go directly to Lamar Jackson, and this win against the Steelers will have meant nothing. That's all I'm saying. This is more of a legacy than anything. They know that the Ravens know that they can, that they can beat the Steelers. It's not that they don't think that they can't beat the Steelers. It's just one of those games and then one of those stretches where your rival has your number. To me, that's what it always was. It wasn't like they were getting beat down and blew out and didn't have a shot. They had a chance to beat them the last game.
So let me ask you this. So let me ask you this. If the other thing is that it helps Lamar keep his MVP status alive or chance to win alive too. That game helps that. But let me ask you this. Let's say that the Steelers won the game.
Josh Allen's trophy.
So let's say So let's say the Steelers have won the game. If the Steelers have won the game, you just said it's Josh Allen's trophy. And then if you get in the playoffs and you end up having to meet the Steelers, and you already lost to them twice in the regular season, does that not count for something? They go into the game. Would you, if they beat the Steelers? I mean, if the Steelers beat the Ravens and then they meet in the playoffs, who would you think is going to win the third game?
Man, you know what they always say. They would come with the same narrative. They always come with
it's hard to beat a team three times in a
right. Okay. That's the talking head, the pundits, us. But tell me, what would your feeling be? Your feeling would be
depending on.
I don't think they can't beat the Steelers. That would
be another close game. And see who make the plays in the end.
Right, because depending on how they lost, if they had gotten beat down, like if it was,
I don't care how they lost. If they lost to the Steelers 2 times in the regular, they lost both games in the regular season.
I would say that
when they get to the playoffs,
the
you'd be saying they can't beat the Steelers.
They have more firepower. They have a better team. They got the better quarterback. They got the better running back. They got 2 of the out of the tight ends in the game. They got the 2 best tight ends. I would say the Steelers would lose to the Ravens. I don't care how many times they played them or how many times they beat them in a row. That's just how I would see it. That's me. Now, I ain't saying if anybody else disagreed and would say the Steelers, so be it, because I could understand why.
We've already said that it seems like Tomlin has this guy's number. We've already said that.
But
it seems like Tomlin got before this game. Tomlin got their number, and if they had won that game, that definitely would have been what been said going to playoffs. They just can't beat the Steelers. They don't want to see the Steelers, but all right.
The Steelers and Tomlin. What does this game mean for them? Are they real contenders now? Because they've looked mighty shaky without your boy George Pickens, which kind of surprises me that has that big an impact on what they can do. So Jerry. You've been touting them a little bit all year, so you got to be shaky a little bit on them right now.
This is what I thought about the game. I felt like, yes, not having Pickens is showing up to be a huge thing for them. As far as part of the offense, but they still took shots down the field. He was able to hit. What's my man's name? Calvin.
Austin.
Yeah, Calvin. He was able to hit him deep a couple of times. So the deep ball threat was still there. I just felt like once Russell Wilson got his ass toe up when he was trying to run the ball into the end zone instead of slide, and he fumbled early in the game. I think after that, he spent the rest of the game trying to make up for that. So it seemed like he was kind of pressing to me. It picked up a little bit when he hit them deep balls, but they just never did. They never could stop Derrick Henry. So the Ravens just continue to keep their momentum going the whole game.
Are they contenders? Super Bowl contenders?
Are the Steelers Super Bowl contenders? Yeah. They still contend. They still contenders to me. Yeah.
Yeah, Greg.
No, and hell no. They're not. They're not, Jerry. George Pickens ain't even that type of wide receiver. He's obviously not a great route runner. He is a great tough catch maker.
Deep ball specialist.
Deep ball specialist is what he does. He can hit you every now and then with some slants, but as far as route running, I'm seeing some holes in this game. I like George Pickens. I got him on my fantasy league.
But before you keep going, it tells you why they tried so hard. They wanted IU or Amari Cooper. The way they wanted to play, you could see it. You know what I'm saying? Why they thought they needed another wide receiver.
Right. They and I think Russ has benefited this year. He's shown that he's still I ain't gonna say franchise quarterback. Well,
you can.
We say franchise. Yeah, right. We can say franchise. He's still a quarterback that can lead a
18,
team.
20 quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying?
He definitely is one of that. And they can compete. Their defense always gonna keep them in the game. Their defense is really tough and rugged. They've, seems like they have a pretty good defense every year. Except a couple of years ago, they kind of fell off. What I'm saying, before they got Minka and a couple other pieces, they kind of fell off the bandwagon. But they've always really had a really good defense. So, is if Russ can be dangerous with Pickens, then
Right.
they have a shot.
They can put a
But I,
scare into
they,
anybody if
yeah,
Pickens
they
is
have
healthy.
a shot because of their defense. And if Russ can make enough plays and Pickens can make enough plays, they can contend for the conference championship. But I don't think they can beat. I don't think they can beat the Chiefs, and we'll see that on Christmas Day.
Right.
And I don't think they can beat the Bills. I don't think they can beat the Ravens. I don't think they can beat any one of those teams.
But they don't think they can beat the Ravens, but they've already beat the Ravens.
I don't think they can beat the Ravens. I think that they
already beat the Ravens.
I don't care about that. I don't care about that.
Okay.
They beat the Ravens because the Ravens missed 2 field goals, point blank, period. That's it. And when they can beat any team, let me say that.
Was it a field goal?
They can beat a team if they're not on their A game. We're talking about in the confines of these teams playing their A game.
Say everybody that's playing their A game,
playing their best. That's what. Of course, they can beat anybody. They catch a team. You know what I'm saying? Turnovers. They got a couple of turnovers.
If everybody
passes,
their A game,
miss field goals. Of course, they can beat a team.
If everybody playing their A game, it would favor the Steelers, in my opinion, because of the defense and the Ravens.
They don't have the best defense.
The Ravens
I was just about to say
defense.
that's my problem. That defense hadn't been that lately.
They got
it's late in the season. It's not too late for them to tighten up the defense. They are a defensive led team, which is why I still give them a shot at making it to the Super Bowl.
I'm a hell no
because of their defense.
I'm a hell no because of what the Eagles and the Ravens were able to do to them offensively, what they did against that defense. Because those are the caliber teams you're gonna have to beat. Teams that can execute. I think the defense is overrated at this point. You know what I'm saying? I just.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I just do. They're so TJ Watt dependent. If he's not making those big splash plays, the defense is average. They're just average.
Yeah.
If he's not going to make 3 or 4 big splash plays in the game, they're not going to beat a good team, a good offensive team. They're just not. And that's just how I see it. You know what I'm saying? And definitely needing George Pickens. Ooh, man, damn. Well, you have to have it. That's a problem too.
I mean, he's their best receiver.
They're ranked 11th in yards per game. 11th. Their best aspect of that is their rushing defense, which they're ranked 8th in rushing, and they just got manhandled.
Yeah, and how many did Saquon have? I can't even remember. How many did he have against them last week, or when they played? How many yards did he have?
I had to look at the numbers.
Hold on.
Yeah,
pull it up.
And for me, like I said, they're a good team. They're a Mike Tomlin coach team, so they're a good team. They're always going to be, you know what I'm saying, an effective team. But I just think they're going to fall short again in the playoffs. I don't even see them getting to the conference championship. One, they need to win the division, which is now in jeopardy.
Saquon only has 65 yards in that game.
How many carries?
19.
Okay.
So, average 3 yards, 3.4 yards a pop.
So my thing is with them, I just think they're going to lose. One, I think they might lose a division now because they got to play the Chiefs tomorrow, and the Ravens play the Texans. So if they lose and the Ravens win, now they're not even the division leader anymore.
If you lose to the Cowboys at home, my squad, you're not a championship contender.
Good point.
Case closed.
No.
Case closed.
No Justin Fields having a part in that. No, the offense really had no chance, no part. Okay.
Their defense is their best part of their team. They allowed the Cowboys to come down and win the game at the end of the game. All they needed was a stop.
Man, playing with Justin Fields at quarterback is like everybody on the team, on the offense, playing with one arm behind their back.
Speaking of that, that's what my boy will be doing going forward. Unfortunately, because of the injury to Tank Dell, my Texans.
No more protecting the house.
Trash Talk family, I'm out. I'm out on the Texans, man. I've been driving this bandwagon all year. This bitch, I'm gonna have to drive this bitch right on off the road. You know what I'm saying?
Abort the mission.
To the side of the road.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
I'm pulling over to the side of the road, and I'm gonna leave this bitch on the side of the road, like I did like my brother did an old Cutlass he had one time. He just left that bitch where it was. Never went back to get it. I'm gonna leave that bitch where it is, right there on the side of the road, dog. I just it's too much now. First of all, the offensive line hadn't been good all year for real. Now you lose Tank Dell, who was having a monster game against the Chiefs in the first half. He was having a big game. But really what did it for me, and I'm not saying seeing your boy go down with a horrific injury like that is not, you know what I'm saying, something big. But that reaction, that overly emotional reaction from your boy, I'm out, dog. I'm out.
Yeah, he said that Tank is best friend.
Yeah.
He said Tank is his best friend.
I think they'll be back, and D'Amico is really building something special. I'll try to check them out again next year, but Texans, I'm out. They can't win it now. They can't win it all now. You know what I'm saying? Can they be dangerous still? Sure. They did sign Deontay Johnson to kind of take his place, and he's been looking for a bigger role in somebody's offense, which is why I guess he got mad at the Steelers and they had to cut him. But we'll see. But yeah, for now, I'm out. I'm out.
Let me ask you this about the Texans. What side of the ball needs to be fixed more, offense or defense?
I'm gonna go offensive line. They got to fix it, man. They have to fix it. Their pass protection is not good. It's below average, their pass protection. So they've got to do it with a quarterback, with a young quarterback. If you want him to take that next step, you got to go get him some protection. You got to find some offensive line. I think D'Amico has done a great job with the defense, honestly. The defense didn't play bad on Saturday against the Chiefs. They held them in that game. CJ just couldn't generate anything. But after that injury, like I put in the thing, he was done. You know what I'm saying? You could see it in his face. They tried to, on the fly line, the veterans trying to talk him up, keep him engaged. Mixon was over there, in his ear. But you could tell they knew, you know what I'm saying? He was done, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, to answer your question though, to me, offense and specifically offensive line, it's got to be fixed, bro. If they want to take that next step, it's got to be. I trust in D'Amico to do what he needs to do on the defensive side of the ball. That offense, though, they got some work to do. The whole Bobby Slowick being a genius thing, you see it's come down this year. Nobody talking about his. You hear Ben Johnson still. You don't hear his name this year as much. So they got to fix that part, bro.
The shitter is full. The shitter is full. Because that tell you full of shit. They need to fix CJ Stroud. Now I give you some credit with the offensive line take. I know that they, Pro Football Focus got them near the bottom 10. Bottom 10, but hey, it wasn't like the Chiefs was getting a lot of tons of pressure. Now they won some battles, like
17-16 when your boy got hurt.
Listen, man, CJ Stroud is having a sophomore slump.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
And what happened was with the Texans, along with CJ Stroud, was the expectations that was placed upon them by the media and yo ass. Talk about they was Super Bowl
division winner will have a home game in the playoffs. So I mean, okay,
that's okay, but that don't mean that they Super Bowl contenders, Dante.
They were.
They were never Super Bowl contenders. They was done. They was doomed from the beginning. They were
Only because of
doomed
that
from the
offensive line.
beginning.
Only because of that offensive line.
They were doomed from the beginning. I don't care nothing about no offensive line.
What? Oh,
As I
come on. That's the
said,
worst football take ever. Come on,
I
dog.
don't care. Their offensive line wasn't that horrific.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
It
is.
was. Come
It's
on,
bad. It's bad. You can't say
CJ.
they ranked at the bottom and then say they not that bad.
I said ranked at the bottom 10. That ain't the bottom. There is a bottom.
It's the bottom.
There is a bottom. Not that they only at the bottom. But CJ Stroud here, good QB. But people jumped the gun on him, man. And I think they're gonna do the same thing with Jaden next year. Is they're having a good freshman season, rookie season, and then they tend to think that they got it. That everything is, now is up from here. You know what I'm saying? Like I got what it takes to succeed, and I'm going to be that. I'm going to take that next step when you need to come in humble, fixing, looking at, okay, what are some challenges that I have as far as a quarterback? How can I get better? And you could tell when they played the Bears, when he said to Caleb Williams, what he said, come here, learn from
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
from those mistakes, and everything you got, bro, is in you already. You're going to be a hell of a player in this league. Now, on its face, that's good advice. That's sound advice.
Coming
But
from
you just
1 year player, right?
this is just your second year, dude.
Yeah.
This is your second year. So that let me know. That kind of was telling, and
He
that
bought
he
into the
thought
hype.
he thought he was there, and he, like you said, bought into the hype.
I
So yeah,
don't know
the
about
shitter
that.
was full, man. The shitter was full.
I think you could definitely benefit from upgrade with the offensive line. I think you can also benefit from.
Before you make your point, Jerry, let me just put it here. The offensive line in 2024, the guards and centers ranked 27th in pass blocking grade, 31st in pressure rate. They terrible.
Yeah. So they definitely need to upgrade the offensive line. They also need to upgrade the offensive weapons too, because the receiving core was banged up this year. And so he had an influx of weapons. But the biggest thing I'm gonna say, he need to stop fucking with Parsons. That's what he need to do. If he gonna do anything, he need to stop fucking with Michael Parsons. That's what he need to do. And then maybe he can focus on what he need to do on his job instead of getting on the microphone with that clown.
Yeah, maybe, man. But yeah, I'm out on them this year. I don't think they have a chance to win it this year, man. But Greg, you kind of alluded to it. In the NFC, your boy Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. So after that 5 TD performance, Jerry, against the Eagles, are they contenders? Are they dangerous? Can they get to the NFC Championship game?
No. I can commend Daniels for his play. Obviously, the rib injury affected him in the middle of his season because we were high on him becoming Rookie of the Year. And, I'm pretty sure he's probably lost that. But healed Jaden Daniels makes a difference. The thing that's going to keep them off the radar for actually contending is the defense. Although the defense
second
half they played better against the Eagles. It's still not top tier defense. Not good enough to win it all. Not good enough to win the division, in my opinion. But
if it started today, it would be a rematch in the first round. It would be Eagles, Commanders at the Eagles again if it started today.
Yeah, and they wouldn't win that game. They lost. They in my opinion, they lost the game because Jalen Hurts went out early. And they barely, and they still barely won the game. So
like the Eagles were gonna run away with it for real.
Yeah. They had to come back to win it at the end, and they did on the last drive, which is fine. And Jalen led that charge. He almost on the last drive, he almost did it with his legs. You know what I'm saying? He
broke 4th and 11.
He broke contain a couple of times in that game, right up the middle. because they were rushing on the outside to get to him. But he was the key to the victory. And I still like his poise. You know, he plays like a veteran quarterback. He really does. He doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. And if not for that injury, he would have been Rookie of the Year.
Greg,
Offense.
the contenders, bro? Or nah, you're not there yet either.
I still think he's gonna be Rookie of the Year.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I
Yeah, I think so.
It's not even close. That narrative is closed too.
Yeah, I think they was trying to give it to Bo Nix, but this
Yeah.
performance,
But he fell.
That's who I was thinking was going to get it.
early season. But you know, I'm gonna give him the same advice I gave to C.J. Stroud. You know, be careful. You know, you'll shoot your eye out, kid. You know, be careful. Be very careful, man. Because what you do, like when you saw at the beginning of the season, don't mean the next year you're gonna do it again. The team needs to make sure they shore up the roster, which I think the Houston did a pretty good job. I mean, that's why people was, especially Dante, was high on them. But you know, the 1 year does not mean the next year you're gonna do the same thing. You have to put, you know what I'm saying, put the blocks in place one step at a time. So as far as them being a contender, hell no. Hell to the no. They beat the Eagles with Jalen Hurts was out. They had to run with Kenny Pickett. They was up 21-7. Now, not with Jalen. I think Jalen got hurt when they was up 14-0. But and you know, they was moved the ball. They was already in the red zone when he started, and so he got the touchdown. It was 21-7, and you know, the Eagles defense pretty much was on the field the rest of the game, so they couldn't stop him. They scored 22 points in the fourth quarter. So, you know, I don't know if, and again, it's just like we said with the Steelers losing to the Cowboys, you can't be a contender and you lose to the Cowboys. Even though we're playing better, but you can't be a contender and lose to them. They're not a good team.
Yeah, I agree. They're not contenders, man. Like I say, I don't want them to do the same thing that your boy D'Amico is doing in Houston. See, he's following his boss's trend and not putting anything into the offensive line, getting you one lineman and thinking the rest of them can be scrubs. You know what I'm saying? That's not a good formula. You know what I'm saying? I think it's what's killed us a lot. You know what I'm saying? You can't just, okay, we got one great lineman, everybody else going to kind of just be dudes, just some jags at the rest of the positions, and think you can be a dominant team all the time. It don't work that way. I think, like I said in the beginning, he's going to be better than your boy in Chicago. I said that from the jump. He's more mature. He's going to be a better player than that boy in Chicago. Now, Jerry, you did make me just go look at something. I just wanted to compare him to Bo Nix, though. The numbers are a lot closer than I thought they are. You know what I'm saying? The numbers are pretty close. When you look at the two of them, 3,300 yards to 32. They both have 22 passing touchdowns, only 8 picks for Jaden, 11 for Bo Nix, 737 yards for your boy, 352 for Bo Nix. 20-plus yard run, 9-6, TDs, 64 on the ground.
That's what's going to be the carrier. That's what's going to be it
because
the 400 yards, but I thought with the 400-yard difference in rushing, right? That's the biggest thing that's separating them at this point. You know what I'm saying?
I forgot that Knicks had that high turnover game not too long ago
against Indy. Three picks.
Yeah,
so that's what really did.
Just had that high turnover game. Yeah,
right. So, but yeah, I think Jaden is on the come up, man. If they keep building that team correctly, are they contenders this year? Nope. I'm with you, G. Hell to the no. And some of the reasons that Jerry said too, the defense still average, even though they had a good second half. I don't think they can build on it. They're just not a really good defense, and so I think that'll get them bounced, even if they play the Eagles. As long as Jalen Hurts is there, I don't think they'll win another matchup against the Eagles if that's what ends up being the first round.
Does Washington still have old boy from Seattle?
Who?
Wagner?
Yeah.
They do? I don't know why I was thinking Wagner went back to the Seahawks.
No.
He did for a year.
He did last year.
Okay.
So any concerns about the Eagles? We can touch that quickly. Any concerns?
Yeah, that defense, they gotta tighten up. They gotta tighten up on defense because they should have been able to, they almost still won the game, but if you're really an elite defense, they've been ranked number 1 for some time, then that's the type of game, you're supposed to win that game, against an inferior team. On the last drive, seemed like they should have been able to make a play. But they couldn't. They couldn't get it done. They let that man break contain. Where was the spy? Why was the rush? Why was the rush play continuously being called on the edges? And leaving that middle wide open, because the middle just opened up crazy a couple of times for them to break contain. So yeah, the Eagles need to tighten that defense up. They really need to tighten it up.
How worried are you about the defense?
I'm not worried about the Eagles. They defense had a bad game. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And again, as I told y'all last night in our meeting, the defense and offense, it's especially in football, in any sport, in basketball too. Only sport that, a team sport that really don't play, they don't go hand in hand is baseball to me. But in football and basketball, if your defense is on the field, or constantly having to expend and exert a lot of energy, I don't care how good it is. You know what I'm saying? At some point, it'll be a breaking point, especially a team that's hot. You know what I'm saying? The quarterback is able to break contain. He's able to put ball in places, receivers getting open. You know what I'm saying? And, just ask the 2016 Alabama Crimson Tide defense when a quarterback get hot.
Yes, dude.
When a quarterback get hot, that defense was shutting folks down, scoring touchdowns. They were, best defense since 92 Crimson Tide defense. But yeah, I mean,
Eagles and damn Redskins, dog. Come on, man.
Hey, they both got Bama players on there. Shut it down. Shut it down, man. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. I got too much Roll Tide in me, man.
Hey, we know. We already know. But yeah, so speaking of which, let's move on. I got 5 on it. Your top 5.
I got 5 on
After
it.
this week's performances, I'm interested to hear y'all top 5s, bro. Who you got? Greg Sears.
I start from the bottom to the top, baby. Let's go.
To the top.
From the bottom to the top.
The bottom man.
Started from the bottom. Now we here.
bottom bump, buddy.
Pause.
Bottom bump, buddy.
Ain't no damn TD Jakes over here.
The bottom man.
Big pause. But the started from the bottom. Now we here. The Ravens.
Oh, at 5.
Back in that thing.
Boy,
back in that top 5. You see it. Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers. And what I told y'all about that defense, I've been telling y'all all year that they have the pedigree, they have the players to get better. And that's exactly what they've done over the last 5 games. I told y'all it was going to happen, and it's coming into fruition. Ravens, number 5. Number 4, the fighting Sam Darnold's, man. Hey, the boy playing. I got to put him in there. I've been holding them out the top 5 all year, man. But they've been playing steady. They've been playing good ball. Every now and then he'll throw a bad interception, but every now and then he gonna make a play. And when you got the receiving core that they have with T.J. Hockenson, they got Jordan Addison, up and coming wide receiver who showed his ass last year, and the best wide receiver in the game, gotta give it to him, Justin Jefferson. He the best wide receiver in the game.
He is. Yeah,
putting up historic numbers.
You get no argument from me, bro.
Number 3, the Lions, man. I would have them a little higher, but the injuries kind of scare me. But that coach, man, I know that he does some crazy stuff and it's gonna come back to bite him. But his mentality, I love the speech he made, to the media last week. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed like he galvanizes the team. And I know they didn't play a good team, But you know what I'm saying, to come back after having that many injuries and the outlook being so kind of bleak, and for
I'm
them to
looking forward to
respond in
that
that
game.
way,
I'm looking forward to that game with them versus the Vikings the last weekend.
will they be playing? I mean, I guess they will have to
I
play to
think they
play for
will be.
something.
They're gonna have to.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
division
to
probably gonna
play
be on the line.
division on the line, and the bye, maybe the bye. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So yeah. Number two, the Eagles stay in my top. Stay in my top. They move up even with the L because again they lost Jalen Hurts. We just talked about the defense, but
About to get left out. Okay.
that defense, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts doing his thing. That little hiccup they had 2 or 3 weeks ago. I just was a blip, but they got a solid wide receiving core in AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, even though he dropped the pass that let the Commanders come back and win that game. And again, Saquon Barkley probably should be right there in the discussion for MVP. They number two, and of course, who I've had number one all year. Who have I said was number one all year? I don't care that they play to the level of their competition. They play, they barely win. They get some fluky duke bounces, but they guess what? They come out on top. Chiefs.
No Buffalo Bills. Okay.
Well, that that
Don't
that
believe in the fighting Josh Allens. Jerry, you up, bro?
I got the Chiefs number one.
Yep.
They damn near undefeated.
Yep.
After winning back to back.
They keep finding ways to win.
Hate them.
Mahomes finally had a Mahomes-like game, so maybe they are getting healthy on
And
the
they get
offense.
people back, right? Exactly.
They're getting healthy on the offensive end, so
They
maybe the
still ain't.
offense gonna return to form.
Imagine if they
But
had Rasheed Rice.
You're right. I was just about to say it, bro.
Damn. They
yeah,
might be undefeated right now
Right.
with a couple of blowouts.
but their defense continues to lead the team and keep them in games. And they finally got some separation this weekend. I got the Eagles number two. I like that Saquon is now the leader of this team. I just said they need to tighten up on defense. That holds true because if Jaden can walk you down, if the rookie QB can walk you down, you got other QBs that are better than him that you're gonna have to face. So they need to tighten up. They need to tighten up on defense. And the crazy thing about it is, even after watching that game, I can't even decide what level of the defense was at fault. I know, they won the game. Excuse me. The Eagles lost the game, that is, on a passing play. But those yards they gave up to Jaden on the ground is really what hurt them all game. Number three, I got the Steelers at number three. I still believe in Talkin and that defense. This game against the Ravens, to me, like I said when I was explaining, I just felt like Russ was kind of pressing the rest of the way, trying to make up for that early turnover after he got bedooged on that first drive. Yeah, I believe in Tom. I believe in these Steelers. I like this team. Four, I got the Ravens. Nothing else needs to be said about that. The one thing I will say, I take that back. The one thing I will say, Greg was talking about them. The defenses look like a Ravens defense over the last 5 games. Well, they played 15 games, if I'm not mistaken. And you're gonna take the 5 games over the 10? Okay, I'm not. I think that defense is still the same defense that was ass on the back end. Pause. Vikings is my 5th team. I finally got the Lions up out of there. Lions, they do put up a whole bunch of points and toss the ball around and offensive weapons all over the place. They can put up 40, 50. I get it. But down this stretch, I just think that defense and the coach, who normally is going off emotion instead of football strategy and whatnot, the things that a good coach needs to have. I think that's gonna be their downfall. Just not having enough on defense. I mean, a few weeks ago they had safeties playing linebacker. So yeah, I don't think you can just outscore people to all the way to a Super Bowl and not have a stronger defense than what they have right now. So I just think it's just too much depletion on that end. So that's my 5.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna start at the bottom too. Give me the Houston Texans. No, I'm bullshitting. I'm playing. I'm bullshitting. No, I'm messing around. Give me the Green Bay Packers at 5.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with the Pack. I think slowly but surely their defense and run game have come around. They're up to 10th overall in defense. Total yards per game, they're 9th. So sacks, they're 8th. Interceptions, they're 6th. Against the run, they're 10th. So for me, I think they're rounding into form now. Jordan Love does give me pause because sometimes he makes some like, bruh, I know you got the cannon for an arm. You don't always have to use it. And sometimes he don't like taking sacks. Like, bruh, just go down sometimes, bro. You don't have to throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? You can take the sack or throw the ball away, bruh. But give me them. I think they're rounding into shape. 4, give me the Lions. I'm a little bit low on them now because of the defensive injuries. I think at some point you just run out of people. You know what I'm saying? And I think in the games against better teams, it's going to start to show up. Yeah, it's not going to show up against the Bears, but when they play a better team, like I said, I'm really looking forward to that game against the Vikings to see what that defense looks like against Jefferson and Addison, to see how they play. But give me the Lions still there. Basically, give me the NFC North because at 3, give me the Vikings. I put them a little bit ahead. I've been skeptical.
You want the Bears next?
Right.
Got the Bears as honorable
I've been
mention.
skeptical on Sam Darnold, y'all know, all year, man. But I'm starting to come around to the fighting Sam Darnold. You know what I'm saying? Him and the defense. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to come around that they can, especially if they can get home field. I think that would be really, really big for the Vikings. They need to win.
They got a really talented roster, man.
Yeah, they need to win the division, though. If you have to go to Minnesota to try to beat them, it's going to be a tough task to go try to beat them in the NFC. 2, give me the Eagles. I'm kind of like you, Greg. I think it was just a bad game. Defense, they were due for a letdown game eventually, and I think they wouldn't have been a letdown game if Hurts hadn't got hurt. I think that kind of took the air out of them and some of the focus off the team. Shouldn't have. I'm with you, Jerry. Should have gone the other way. They should have stepped it up in that spot. I would like to have seen that too, but that, to me, that's kind of coaching too. Maybe that's the Sirianni effect. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't galvanize them in the moment. But I still believe with Jalen Hurts healthy, they're my number 2 team. And number 1, hell, I hate them, but it is what it is. Damn Chiefs. Look like these fuckers might three-peat. It's getting scary. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting nervous. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see it. I don't want him to be the first one to do it. Should be the damn Niners should be the first one to three-peat. Not no damn Chiefs. I want them to lose every which way possible.
Man, the Niners ain't got no shot in hell in three-peating. Stop.
It deserves to be the 49ers, the 3-peat.
Don't deserve to.
Deserves to just. But right now, you can't take nothing from the Chiefs, man. And they getting scary, bro. Marquise Brown, you can see they were trying to work him into the game plan last week intentionally. Like, you can see it, bro. Worthy is starting. I think he had 13 targets. So it's like now Andy Reid is starting to ramp it up. Like, okay, let me see what we're going to do for real. And that makes them scary, man. Really, really scary. So they could be on the verge of it, bro.
Saying that they deserve the three-peat is like saying Florida State deserved to be in the conference, the CFP.
Last year.
It is a ridiculous statement if I ain't ever heard one in my life.
It shouldn't have been in. Why the hell is Georgia in? Carson Beck hurt.
They already got in.
Carson Beck ass hurt. Boot their ass up out of here. They ain't got no quarterback either. Get their ass up out of here. Same goddamn situation. Same damn situation. They still got a defense the same way we did. Same situation, but you changing the rules this year. Oh, fuck it. Let them in. You know what I'm saying? It's 12. Let them in. No, they ain't got no quarterback. They shouldn't get in. But I'm not even going to go there. I ain't going to let you get my pressure up like that, bro. You're trying to get my pressure up over some old bullshit. But speaking of people with their pressure up, your boy, let's talk. Did y'all want to talk any NBA? I know, Greek G, you said you might have to run. You had to get in. Did y'all want to skip that and go to the final topic? Because I know it's going to take a minute. I don't know what your schedule is like, bro. Where you at?
We can touch on it just a tad.
All right, NBA. Let's get to it then. The reason this boy wearing that green shit today, he wanted to talk about it. Are there any real contenders to the damn Celtics in the NBA? He says there's none. That the Celtics are a lock to win another title, to go back to back. Greg and I say it's bullshit, but Jerry, we're gonna give you the floor. Since your team,
I mean,
champion.
If you can tell me the team in the West that can beat the Celtics,
I can tell you
that
something.
has a chance to beat the Celtics, I would listen. But if you wanna try to throw OKC at me, nah, man. No, we just saw them get dismantled under the pressure of winning the cup. They're just too young. They're too wet behind the ears, breath still smelling like Similac. They just don't have it. I love Shea's game. He choked in the cup game. He completely choked. He had nothing at all for the Bucks. So
y'all didn't make it to the cup.
Company, well, that's because of a technicality. We were tied 4-1, so whatever. And made me lose my thought. But anyway, OKC, I don't think is good enough to beat us. Minnesota is falling way to the wayside this season. We don't have to worry about them. Dallas can't beat us. I don't give a damn. They had Clay and Steph Daddy. It ain't gonna make a difference. And after that, there's no other team that I think of out of the West. Denver just don't have enough. Denver won't be ranked high enough to go far, in my opinion. They just don't have enough players to get it done this year. And then Westbrook in the playoffs on that team, man, I just, those turnovers are going to turn up. So I don't think there's a team in the West they can beat. I know y'all going to start trying to throw Cleveland at us. Listen, man, in the NBA, teams just don't turn it around and go just win a championship like that. It just don't happen. So this young Cleveland team, they are playing better. Atkinson has them playing very good ball. I like their offensive system. I like the confidence they have put into Mobley. He's playing well. He's having an all-star caliber year at the power forward position. Lately, he's been playing some of the five because Jared Allen's been in and out or whatever. But I like Cleveland, but miss me with Donovan Mitchell being able to unseat my Celtics. And there is nobody else in the East that I'm even concerned with. Y'all want to throw the Knicks at us? Okay, whatever.
How the hell, say all the shit you've been talking about Giannis and Dame, and now they irrelevant?
Well, I told you last week that I saw some things in the cup with Doc's coaching and then their roster build. They don't have enough on the roster to compete with us for a championship. They're a good team. They can knock out a Cleveland. They can knock out a Knicks team. They're good enough to knock out a Knicks team, in my opinion. But to beat us, once we spread them out on that floor, they don't have enough to beat us. That roster too thin. They don't even have a backup point guard on the team at all on the roster. So, nah.
G, you agree? Disagree?
Hell no. Man, stop it. Jerry act like these boys are the KD, Steph Curry Warriors. Like it's them and everybody else.
Right.
And it's not. Please, man, come out of here. You said what you just said was that there will not be a team that can just win it. Just turn around and win it. Well, hell, ain't that's what been happening since 2019?
Mm-mm.
It ain't.
Mm-mm.
Did Toronto win a championship?
Yes, they did.
They had
They
a
did
champ.
win the championship, right?
They had a
Did they win the
championship. They had a championship pedigree player leading them. Tell me the championship pedigree player on the Cavs team, please, sir. Okay, all right, I thought so. Tell me the
All
championship
right,
pedigree player on the
so
Knicks.
who was the championship pedigree player when the Warriors won in 2014 or 2015?
Steve Kerr.
Man,
You said player.
my God.
He was a
Oh
coach.
my God. Steve Kerr was his first year coaching, man. Stop it. It's his first year coaching.
He still had championship pedigree.
Okay, so the Lakers, had they won the championship?
What you mean? Talking about
I get it. Yeah, they got LeBron.
The
Yeah, championship
LeBron
pedigree.
led Lakers.
2021. Did the Bucks?
The LeBron led Lakers.
Who was the championship pedigree on the Bucks?
The Bucks have been knocking on the door.
By knocking on the door, that mean they just was in the playoffs because
the Bucks have been
they had never made it to a conference championship game.
Two things happened. The Bucks have been knocking on the door, and Chris Paul got injured. If Chris Paul hadn't got injured, they wouldn't have won. They wouldn't have won that series.
So injuries don't happen.
That's a liberal definition of knocking on the door. That's
right. That's so liberal. I mean, like if they had been in the championship or been in the conference championship, then I would see you would have a good point. My point is, sir, and because we go on and on, we'll skip past Golden State because they do have a championship pedigree at that moment in time. But the Denver Nuggets, they didn't have no, championship pedigree.
They had a coach.
They had a coach. Mike Malone wasn't no freaking coach of note before they won the title.
Right.
Man, you moving the goalposts. Dante, did you see the goalpost move?
I did, sir.
95 different times just then. So, again, man, Boston can shoot the lights out, but as we've seen, when you live by the three, you die by the three. They don't always go in.
17 for 56.
Your weakness is on the inside. And so if you had to play Denver, you had to play Milwaukee, if my Philly Sixers are healthy, they can take y'all down. Cleveland is showing, and again,
Philly is 7-3 in their last 10.
7-3. You think they ain't gonna make the playoffs? They're gonna be there. Stop it. They 2 games back from from being in the play-in. If Philly is healthy, they could beat you. I like the Grizzlies. I like the Grizzlies.
I love the Grizzlies.
I like the Grizzlies.
I love the Grizzlies.
Houston, I think they just too young. They will be competitive. If Phoenix get healthy, I think Phoenix can compete.
Can you tell me the one team you think can literally beat?
I'm literally telling you all of the teams. Cleveland,
man,
New York.
You just said you mentioned the Houston Rockets.
I mentioned Houston.
You mentioned Philly.
I said they were too young.
Philly ain't never been able to beat Boston, but you mentioned them too. So come on, dog.
Hey man, Boston ain't never been able to beat LeBron, but they end up somehow getting in.
Boston
in the
ain't never been able to beat LeBron. Okay.
They ain't. Not since 2008. They have not. They have not.
LeBron ain't
they have not.
I don't even know why you bringing that dude up, but go ahead.
He was in Miami and Cleveland. They weren't able to beat him.
Now we going back in time. We completely off.
I'm not even going to talk about it. You went straight to the West. I'm not even going to talk about the West. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 26-4, 9-1 in the last 10. They can beat the Celtics.
They playing great ball.
The Knicks are 8-2 in their last 10. They can beat the Celtics. I'm just telling you, there are teams in the East who can beat the Celtics. Period. Point blank. This Celtics team is not what you make them out to be. They not that. They not.
What happened when
they're not going down as an all-time team, Jerry. They are not that.
We beat the dog shit out of the New York Knicks when we met them. We beat the dog shit.
In the beginning of the season.
In the beginning.
The dog shit.
Yeah. Who cares?
Anybody that watches the NBA
preseason.
Every team in the NBA has got a game like that where they're like, damn, what happened? It happened. It's a long ass season.
Did I tell you, didn't we say that they were going to have to get the chemistry together?
Yes.
They had put in some big pieces to that puzzle.
Yes.
So they got to get it
that. If he knows basketball the way he says he does, he knows that.
They're
Man, I heard
they're 8-2 over their last 10 games. Boston is 6-4. And it's close to when the season's supposed to start.
And we got
one day away from when
we got the second or third best record in the league. Okay, all right. We got
MVP. Y'all should have the number one record.
Tell me who the MVP candidates are for this year. Anybody?
Giannis, Jokic, Shai Gilgeous. Those are the three. Yep. Giannis, Jokic, and Shai Gilgeous. That's the top.
Oh, you gonna stop there? Oh, okay.
What else? Who else is it?
Tatum in the mix. What are you talking about?
He ain't gonna win it.
Tatum is not an MVP candidate.
He'll fall off. He will
fall off like he always do.
He will fall off like he always do.
Right. He gonna fall off.
Come on. It's the same. It's gonna play out the same exactly as it did last year, dog. It's inevitable.
We shall see. But like I said, there's plenty of teams in the East who gonna give y'all a run for y'all money. And right now, the favorites then winning. Actually, Joker is first. Shai is second at plus 200. Jokic is plus 110. Giannis is plus 550. Luka plus 850. Tatum plus 1400.
Long shot.
Way back.
Put your money. Now you can put some futures on that. You can put $100 on that, and you're gonna win some
money on that one if you want to bet on it. You was asking for $100 bet last night. Bet on that.
Yeah, I got 100 on the field.
Right.
Yeah.
I got 100 on the field. You want to do that?
Guaranteed.
Boston Celtics will repeat.
No. Do you want to do that? 100 on the field.
I want you to put 100 on your team. I told you that last night.
I don't have it. I have a bunch of teams.
But see, doing it that way, Jared, we can end up with nobody being a winner.
That is what you
somebody got to win.
Yeah, somebody got to win.
Yeah. Give me
both of y'all on that sound like E40.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, did he wasn't even bold enough? You said last night you would take that bet, didn't you?
Right.
You said you would take that.
Yeah, I said you put 100 on your team. I put 100 on my team.
No, you've been thumping your chest about these Boston Celtics.
Put 100 on your team, and I put 100 on my team, and we'll see what's going down.
You have put them in the category with the Bulls,
right?
The Bulls had 2 3-peats.
With the 2000,
I said we're going to repeat. Difference.
Oh, yeah, but you're putting them in the category like they can't be beat. Like this, the question that you started the season asking, and the question that we put forth today was, the Celtics are guaranteed to win the title. There is no competition for it.
Yeah, I don't see anybody in the West beating the Celtics for a title this year.
And
that don't change.
I see more. I see enough teams to beat them in the East.
Right. Okay. Exactly. You talking about the West? I'm talking about the East.
Okay.
I got 4 teams. Three of them guaranteed they can beat them. One, if they healthy, they can beat them.
Right. 3 East teams that guaranteed can beat the Celtics.
Yep. Can beat the Celtics.
And
I'm listening.
And my top one is the one that's gonna have home court advantage. You already know what it is. Cleveland will beat them if they have home court advantage.
They already did.
Right. Right. Since you thumping your chest about the victory over the Knicks, what about Cleveland victory over y'all?
We beat Cleveland this year.
Like I said, Cleveland gonna beat y'all, dog. The Knicks are better than y'all. By the end of the season, the Knicks will be better too.
Everybody's
over the last 10 games. Here are the teams with the best record in the East. Cleveland 9-1.
Y'all can read every stat out there.
Milwaukee 7-3. Philly 7-3. All
Y'all didn't.
four of the teams,
Right.
the teams that are playing the best right now,
Dante picked the Bucks to miss the playoffs this year.
the
I
teams
said
that are
I
playing the
said
best,
or play in is what
the
I said.
teams that are playing the best right now have a better record than the Celtics over the last 10. The Celtics are grouped
Well,
in
it's
with
a good
the
thing we don't
Atlanta
stop.
Hawks
It's a good
and the
thing we
Indiana
don't stop
Pacers
at the
in the
last 10
last 10
games.
games.
That's fantastic.
In the
It's a
last
good
10 games.
thing
We
we
don't
don't
care about
stop at
no
the
regular
last
season.
10.
Just about them Bucks yet. They only one game out of the play in right now. So don't bump your chest about them just yet. They only one game out of the play in right now.
Yeah, I was throwing up these Cavaliers, and we done split on the season, like I said. So it's all good.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall.
Yeah.
But speaking of sin, we saw some things on the internet yesterday. some twerkage going on, causing a man in Colorado to dump his social media accounts. We said as old heads, we wasn't really gonna get into it. But the story keep coming up.
Explain why we wasn't going to get into it.
Well, Jerry, I'll let you explain it because you really had the issue. Explain yourself, bro, why you really didn't want to get into it.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into the Travis Hunter and his fiance deal simply because first of all, we didn't have the pictures and the video that's floating around at first. We didn't have that. And I just didn't want to be a part of the internet negativity. This man has reached his goal of being one of the best players in college football in order to get to the league, in order to lift his status and his family status. So I didn't want to be a part of the parade that's going to disparage any little thing in this man's life, like the internet can do. I don't know why.
Bless you.
Coughing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just didn't want to be on young black love, didn't want to speak against that. Didn't want to make them make their union a statistic before it even gets started, because they are just fiancés right now. But they're high school sweethearts. They made it this far. The internet went way too far on the one comment she made when she said that he was not her type at the beginning. And that's crazy because a lot of relationships start off like that. When people see what I'm saying? Greg just admitted that. You know what? I think I remember when you had the apartment off Acton, when we lived over off Acton, and y'all had first started dating. I believe I asked that at one of the little chill sessions, and she said she wasn't checking for, that y'all wasn't checking for each other. I remember that. But anyway, yeah, so that's really what it is. I just didn't want to be on that negative train that has found him, and and it ain't gonna stop no time soon, unfortunately.
Yeah, man. So yeah, good explanation, Jerry. And that's kind of why I kind of backed down, because I was like, yeah, man, they young. You know what I'm saying? I was more on when it first came out. I was like, dang, he, what I'm saying, going all in for this chick, and what I'm saying, he got all this celebrity, and he don't even want to do a prenup. But when I found out that he had been with her for 5 years, meaning that they probably had started dating in high school, I was like, okay, let them live, let them live and learn, But as as internet seem to do, once they find some red meat like a pit bull, they
Right.
ain't getting up off of it, man. And so some things have started to come out of the closet for his fiance, Liana Lene. So I'm gonna kind of go down the list of it, but you know, I I feel bad for him. Even the stuff that I'm about to say, I still feel bad for them because they're still young and learning. And I'll get to my larger point in a minute. Uh, it's just it's tough being in a relationship and being an influencer and being in the public domain and living in this social media world. But allegedly, she was a stripper. She said she worked as a bartender in a strip club. Allegedly, she has an OnlyFans account now. They said they got some receipts for that. Not didn't have any OnlyFans videos, but just had a account that she had set up for OnlyFans. Take it that
To
what
me,
you
that just means she had an OnlyFans account so she can see other people on OnlyFans.
no,
That's what that means to me.
No, they're saying that she had and she was a content provider. She had an account set up for that. That's what I heard.
I
Allegedly.
don't.
Allegedly. I mean, this is not anybody could have. There wouldn't be an issue if she just had if she had a subscription. They're saying she was a content provider.
Great. If she had OnlyFans video, it would be out there.
Nah, they didn't. But yeah, they didn't have any content. But she had an account set up, is what they're saying.
Yeah, people set up accounts so they can watch other people.
You have accounts where you, as a subscription, and you have an account where you are the provider.
Jerry. That's what I'm saying. If she was providing video, if she was doing something, we would have it.
Okay. I hope y'all get me out there.
If they had her in high school dancing with some wannabe rappers, they would have her OnlyFans video all over the place.
So the
Stephen A might be talking about it.
The allegation is that
she was saying that she was thinking about going down that path.
Right. She didn't do it, or she didn't put no content out, but she had set up one for content.
Okay, so you going toward her character in that, I guess so, in that manner. Okay. I got it.
That at some point she thought that might have been a viable way for her to get that.
I got it.
Right.
I got it.
If you add that, or if you know what I'm saying, if you put with that thinking with her working in a strip club, and that in and of itself again is nothing, you can't really demonize people for that, but seeming proof of being in another dude's DM. They've got screenshots of that. Apparently during the time her and Travis was dating. Receipts of her twerking, like Dante said, twerking on another dude, another photo with another young jit with a handful of ass. So it is, the skeletons have started to come out, and it's probably not going to stop because this generation don't know how to do nothing without being on social media.
Right.
And so I don't like how it's not allowing the kids to grow up like you talked about, you know what I'm saying, them being in a relationship, they've been together 5 years, whether she had a checkered past or not. However, you can't put your love on display like this in this era with you being celebrity. You can't do it. If you do it,
you got to take what come with it.
You got to take what come with it. Travis Hunter, unfortunately, this is just the beginning of the scrutiny that you're going to be up against. If you know what I'm saying, and I think it's smart. Go ahead and delete the social media accounts. Stay off of it, because nothing good is going to come of it when you allow people into your house, especially when you're a star, especially when even if you was a local dude, a local joker. You know what I'm saying? You let folks into your world. People do that to get fame and notoriety, but then hate the backlash that come with it.
Right.
The criticism that come with it. So my larger point, and I want to get to it really quickly, is that, as you talked about, every relationship, you know what I'm saying? Not everyone, but my relationship started out just like what they said it was. My wife said she wasn't, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't checking for me. I wasn't her type. You know what I'm saying? But because of my persistence, you know what I'm saying, me putting that game on her. You know what I'm saying? She fell for it. I told her, I was like, you're going to love me. And you know what I'm saying? Love. But I advise all young folks to take some time before making marital decisions, because this thing tough enough. It's not for the weak. Dante, Jerry, y'all all can attest to it. It is not for the weak. You have to be ready.
Not for the faint of heart.
This is not it's not the, you know what I'm saying, what you see on these TV shows. It's not, you know what I'm saying, running through the daisies, y'all all in love, having sex every single day. You know what I'm saying? It gets really, really tough, and it get really, really rough. And I can't even imagine how it would be with you being a superstar or a star, being in the public spotlight. You can times that by 10.
Right.
So he definitely should look into doing a prenup. Not that you don't love your wife, but you finna come into some millions and millions. And sometimes you have to think strategically for your own well-being and your own personal good. Yeah,
For
this
your
chick may have
career.
been with yeah, she may have been with you for the last 5 years, but you can best believe, Travis, you got to take that into consideration. And I'm not telling you what to do. You love your girl, cool. But you have to kind of look at it, and this is just advice to anybody. You know, it's not gonna stop with people women trying to get what I'm saying, the man that's gonna be the best provider, right? You know what I'm saying? That's just the
Right.
nature of women and men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But men have to protect themselves too, because you can become a target. And I'm not saying that she targeted you, but based on some of the stuff that came out, she's saying she really wasn't interested in you. You was an up and coming high school star. You know what I'm saying? They ain't young and dumb. They know, hey, this dude might, you know what I'm saying? They finna get this NIL money because around that time is when NIL started coming into play. He gonna be a star in college. He gonna probably go to the pros. This might be my ticket. This might be my meal ticket. So you gotta make sure you protect yourself.
Yeah, man. I think y'all pretty much touched on it all, man. My thing with it is, no, I'm a believer in people can change. You know what I'm saying? When you're young, you know what I'm saying, you have a young mindset. We all did. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the situation. I don't know how old the video is. I still couldn't find that out. And saying last night when we were saying we were going to talk about it, so I went and looked. I haven't been digging into it like that. So I went. I really couldn't figure out how old it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, just think about your relationships when you were, let's say, high school, early college years. I mean, yeah, you might have been saying I'm serious about so and so, but were you really? You know what I'm saying? Were you for real? You know what I'm saying? You were serious about them when you were with them, but when you weren't, it might have been something different. You know what I'm saying? So can we really hold it against her? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what their situation was at that time. What was he doing? You know what I'm saying? Were they all in together like that for real at that age? You know what I'm saying? Were we? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't like to disparage her character. Yeah, some of the stuff looks bad, but the internet can do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the danger in it. You know what I'm saying? It can do that to a person. You know what I'm saying? I just think he did the right thing, because you got three ways you can go with it, Travis Hunter. And like I said, he's a grown man at this point. Do what you want to do. I can't live your life for you. Live it for yourself. You'll find out. You'll make the mistakes and find out for yourself. But you can shut that shit off. You can keep it on and ignore the shit. Or you can do like KD, go back and forth with everybody. Those really are your options. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be a public figure, you got one or three options. Shut it off like he did. Go back and forth with him like KD, or ignore the shit. Leave it on, ignore the shit, and post what you're going to post and move on. That's how I do. I don't care about the negativity. When people do something negative on mine, I don't give a shit. I rarely even respond. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna post what I'm gonna post and I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Except, in our sports group, that's different. But normal stuff, you know what I'm saying? I don't really care about what the outside world got to say about it. You know what I'm saying? On stuff that I post. You know what I'm saying? This my shit. I don't really
In
care.
my opinion.
Right. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So I don't really care. So he's gonna have to make that decision for himself, you know what I'm saying, on how to handle that going forward. Cause like you said, G, it's not going anywhere. And part of his brand, he's
It's
gonna
gonna
need
get
that.
worse.
He's gonna need
Yeah.
that for the branding. You know what I'm saying? So it's off right now, but it can't stay off. And he make the money that he wants to make from it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
at some point, it's gonna have to come back on. That's just, and I always look at it from the financial point. Having those followers is what's gonna get him paid off that. So at some point, you're going to turn it back on. So he's going to have to make a decision on how he's going to handle that going forward. You know what I'm saying? Maybe just keep your private shit private. You know what I'm saying?
Keep that shit private, man. When I'm on social media, I mostly post about sports, some politics, or something. You know what I'm saying? That's
Funny.
popular in the day, something funny. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But you ain't finna never see me post any issues that I'm having at home.
Right. That's
You
not
ain't never
everybody's
gonna see me
business.
post anything negative about my kids. I'm gonna promote what they do well. You know what I'm saying? Like if they did get an award or something at school or go to college or stuff like that. But
Right.
man, your personal life, man, you can't go into that stuff and just post, you know what I'm saying, your relationship and just have folks be able to just pick and choose what they want to like and dislike. Yeah, that's
Right.
just they gonna do that. And
Right.
if you ain't got the skin to deal
Right.
with it,
Gotta
then
have
don't
thick
do it.
skin. Gotta have thick skin. You know.
I don't even like posting, like vacation pictures or out of town pictures until I get back home.
You
You know
get
what I'm
back.
saying?
Right.
I don't.
Right.
I just, it's just something I don't like to do. But
That's
you know,
just a security thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. All in all, I wish to do nothing but the best.
Me
I
too.
haven't.
Too.
I haven't leaned into, she the wrong chick. Yeah, I
right.
hadn't leaned that way. I probably won't even have a say in that.
Yeah, we
Um,
don't know her. We don't know her. We just know
but
what's being
I,
put
I
out.
am I am thankful on his behalf that he is under the guidance. And again, that love thing is tricky. It's when you're being led with your heart and your feelings. But I do think that I'm thankful that he's under the proper guidance, the perfect guidance to be under Deion Sanders, who married the woman he thought he was going to be with for the rest of his
Right.
life, the woman he chose to have his children, the woman he
Right.
chose to take care of the home while he's concentrating on his career as being the greatest cornerback we've ever seen.
I don't even like being in the same room now.
You know what I'm saying? So we saw how he saw how it can all change at the drop of a dime, and he had a prenup, and that helped him, keep his sanity because the story is, most everybody knows the story is that she flipped or started flipping at some point, and then in the very end, she tried to fake a domestic violence situation with him, and unfortunately, he had to use his kids as the witnesses that she was lying on Deion. So hopefully he listens to Deion and rethinks that prenup thing because, and I was talking to, after we talked about it last night, I was talking about it with a female friend of mine, and I came up with this: if he changes his mind and gets the prenup, and she has an issue with it, that's for me that would be red flag enough because it's got to be about his career. You don't get nowhere at this point without his career because he ain't about to finish school, no time soon. She's probably not even in school. I don't know what else. I don't know if she's a student or they just live together. I don't know. So
You can tell
hopefully
he head over heels. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
hopefully,
Man, said he was dropping her off at the party and he stayed outside, man.
That's
yeah.
some, but that just shows that he's kind of a square.
right.
But a lot of athletes are like that. You know what I'm saying? They are athletes first,
I can dig it,
and
man.
everything else. Some of them are like that. He didn't care to be in the in crowd. That's a good thing,
right. I hate even using that word square, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I get why he would be away from all of that dumb stuff. And that's
Right,
cool.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be into
And he
these.
said he don't drink, so he didn't want to be around, people that drink. You know what I'm saying? Some people, see that in their family and they just don't, want to be a part of it.
But hey, dog, listen, man. And I wish them nothing but the best. But if I ain't going to the party, I ain't going. You just got to ride with you know what I'm saying? If I trust you like that, you know what I'm saying? So either he didn't trust
Right.
her and it was like, okay, I'm just gonna chill out here
But another point,
and
G.
see if she come out with another dude.
Another point. It didn't have to be. It didn't have to be a square situation. It could have just been valor. Because I have a cousin who I don't know how long she dated her husband before they got married. But if she went out at night, he would ask her to call him so he could make sure she got home safe. So he would literally get in the car,
And go pick her up.
drive to where she was, or they would meet up, and then he would just follow her home just to make sure she got home. I mean, anytime
Okay.
she went out.
Even that,
So
but
it could be valor.
I'm not outside it. I'm not outside the party. If I'm going to the party, hey, if I'm, you know what I'm saying, then I'm in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there with you. You know what I'm saying?
But that's that could be a valid thing, though. It really
I just
could.
can't
I just
see
thought
that.
about that.
I ain't the hype, the hypest dude. I ain't the, what I'm saying, the most popular guy, never have been. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't that. I can't, I don't see why you would sit out in the
Yeah,
car.
that's a little weird. You know what I'm saying?
That's
It's a little,
weird. That's weird, bro.
it's
That's
a little
weird,
weird. You know
man.
what I'm
That's
saying?
weird as hell.
Want to make sure she get home safe, man.
I'm going in then. I'm going in.
I don't drink, man. I don't drink. I don't like being around all that
You
drinking and
can go
smoking.
in and not drink. You
I
can
don't
go
like
in
being
and not
around
drink.
all that drinking and smoking. You know
All
what
right,
I'm saying?
then. Well, hey, you know what I'm saying? If I trust you enough for you to go inside the park, hey, anything can go down in the party, man. You done
Do
been
you,
in a party
hey,
before and it done went down.
do you think
In
he
the
was out?
party.
You think he was outside the party of the video we saw? You think he
He
was
could
outside during that?
have been.
She got the schoolgirl outfit on, twerking and shit.
Man, crazy. Hey, dog,
Oh
listen.
man, like y'all said, man, we wish them the best, man. Hopefully they both make good decisions, man, going forward, man. Because you want to see it, like you said, Jerry, with Black Love, you want to see it succeed. You know what I'm saying? Especially in successful, because I consider her Black. You know what I'm saying? So in successful relationships, you want to see successful Black relationships. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully it's just some stuff because they're young, because she's young. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying?
And they're being targeted. They're being targeted
Right,
by the internet.
right,
You know.
right. So we don't really know. She seems to, I mean, when you listen to her speak, which I did watch her little video when we said we was going to do this topic, talking about some of the things that, she didn't really want to date him because he had a girlfriend already. And those were the kind of dudes she was saying she didn't like. She didn't want to mess with any kind of dude that had a girlfriend already and that kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hopefully, man, hopefully it's just like I said, the internet can make stuff look really, really bad. You know what I'm saying? Just like we were saying with the Jay-Z stuff when we talked about that last week. You know what I'm saying? When the internet gets it, it can get, misconstrued a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? So I just wish them the best, man. I pray for them. Hopefully they can get it together. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully there will be a success story. But do get that prenup, my boy. God, hey, God ain't never said be no fool. Get that prenup, boy.
Ain't nothing like having to split all your earnings.
It's different.
The house.
I forget what community said. It's different when you got $150 than when you got 150 million. That's a whole lot of difference.
Whole lot. When she taking
half of 50,000, right?
Half, Eddie.
Right.
Half.
Shit, half 150 million. Shit, I don't know, bro.
I had to pull out the bazooka.
Exactly. Unless you got that Tiger Woods money, you know what I'm saying? You can drop that 150 million on them and keep on moving.
I thought she got 3.
Nah, I don't know what the number was. I know it was a lot, but I'm saying he's worth $2 billion. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, get this and get out of my face. You know what I'm saying? Get on out the way. You know what I'm saying? But
that's still a lot of bread, though.
A lot of bread, though.
A lot of bread. 300 million, whatever she got. She got a lot. I'm gonna tell you.
For them little few years, they weren't even married that damn long. But that's enough. That Snow Bunnies will say that.
Anita Jordan.
Yeah, we'll say Snow Bunny in for a later episode. But thank y'all for joining us, man. Trash talking with the old heads. Hey,
Merry Christmas, nickel.
Merry Christmas, niggles. But we out of here, man. Till next week. Well, actually, this week we will be here Friday. Don't forget to join us Friday. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on that YouTube channel.
No excuses. Play like a champion.
Oh, he had to put it in. You see it. You see it.